Hi guys, this is Albert the Analyst, and I'm very excited for this video. Why? Because I'll be recapping the women's events and the results of the events for the recently concluded Monaco Diamond League. So let's get straight into it. Firstly, Megan Tapper. Oh my God. Before I get to Megan Tapper, by the way, guys. So my intention is, you know how everybody else is indoors. You see everybody else with their mics and their chairs, and they're all indoors. Albert will not be indoors. Albert will be outdoors. You catch me at UWI. You catch me at Emancipation Park. You catch me in Portland. You catch me in Manchester. You catch me in St. Elizabeth. You catch me in Anova. I have a lot of international supporters, and so I thought to myself, Jamaica is such a beautiful country. We talk about it, we brag about it. I want to show the beauty of Jamaica to my supporters through my videos. So you and I could be talking and I could be on a beach in Portland. You get what I mean? So that's my vision for my channel. So you're always gonna catch me outside. Okay? So let's get into it. Megan Tapper. Jeez, listen. Last year, we all know what happened with Megan. Injuries, not making the team. She came fourth. Do you know how that feels? To come right outside of the top three? To ask yourself, oh my God, what could I have done better? What did I do wrong? Geez, had I just started a bit faster? Had I maintained a bit longer? That must have been so nerve-wracking for her. So, you know what I mean? So to see Megan come back, to see Megan come back this year, to rise from the ashes of her defeat and her injuries last year, to performing so well at Grand Slam, which clearly those 100 meters have been doing her very greatly, because it's translated to her 100 meter hurdle speed, where Megan took the win yesterday with an equal PB of 12.34. However, guys, that 12.34 that's run at trials was run with a 0.1 wind. This one, she ran into a minus 1.1 headwind that was pushing her back. When I do my, so I have a wind speed calculator curated by Jeff Chen. I'm gonna link it in the comments below so you can use it, because it's something that I've used over the years and it's been very accurate. A lot of times when I calculate that time, the athletes eventually go on and run those times actually, or close to those times, or show potential to do so. And when I calculated it, had the wind been still, she'd have run 12.2 low. And had the wind been, for example, plus 2, anywhere between plus 1.5 to 2.0, Megan might have even run close to the world record. So Megan Tapper is not only in 12.2 shape, she's in sub 12.2 shape. I hope you guys keep that in mind. Do not be shocked, okay? Don't act shocked. If, when, not if, when you see her do her thing. Sub 12.2 is on the books. Remember, Albert told you. Now, so I of course would have done predictions like I always do, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you the my prediction for each race, and then I'm gonna tell you the actual results of the race, right? So that you can we can kind of just gauge how accurate I was or how almost accurate I was, okay? So let's get straight into that. So for the women's 100 meter hurdles, I initially predicted that the winner would be Megan Tapper, who of course has a personal best and season's best of 12.34, Jamaican national champion. It was not hard to pick her for favorite. I had Grace Stark coming in second, and in bracket I put that she could possibly upset, because she's been doing amazing this season, and she has a personal best and season's best of 12.21 and has been consistent on the circuit, as I said. And in third place, I had Ditaji Kambunji, who has a personal best of 12.40 with a season's best of 12.66. Now, while the season's best is a bit slower than most other top hurdlers, I did note, however, that she actually ran a 12.39 with a plus 2.2 wind in Spain on the 28th of June, and I was like, as slow as the charges season's best is right now compared to everyone else's, that 12.39 with that illegal wind, because it's above 2.0, it makes me feel like maybe she could actually come top 3 in this race, especially considering how she always comes clutch. And by the way, one of my favorite athletes is her sister, Mujinga Kambunji, who is pregnant, and I wish you all the best with your pregnancy. Congratulations, Kambunji. Huge fan, and I love how the Taji, not only did they both medal indoors, I don't know if it was this year or last year, I think it was this year actually, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, they both medal as sisters. That must have been, I can't wait to see the Clayton twins achieve that, both medaling. So I'm very proud of the Taji for not only representing herself but her sister, and very proud of her. And for my dark horse, it was Masai Russell, Olympic champion, fastest woman this year, can never be counted out, always bounces back. In 2023, we all know what happened in 2023. She didn't have the best she had a great season, but at the championship she just didn't find it. And I remember actually texting Masai on Instagram and her even responding, which I really appreciated. And I tried to breathe life into Masai, and she received it in 2023, and in 2024 she became Olympic champion. So Masai knows that she can and will bounce back, and I have such faith in Masai that I made her my dark horse. And if I make you my dark horse in a race, I secretly believe that you could win it. So my dark horses are stallions, as you guys have come to see when it comes on to my predictions. So that was my initial top 3: Megan, followed by Grace, followed by the Taji, with my dark horse being Masai. Now for the results, as you guys would know, let me quickly find it. So Megan came first, as I expected. The Taji Kambunji came second, and Nadine Vissa, very consistent, love her, she came third. Masai came fourth, so my dark horse came fourth, which technically, if I make you my dark horse, I expect you to either come fourth or upset the top 3. So, and then Grace Stark came fifth. So my top 3 and my dark horse came top 5. Now, I believe that had Grace Stark not hit that hurdle like she did in the race, she would have come second, and she would have I would have been accurate in my top 3, which would have been Megan, followed by Megan, followed by Stark, followed by Kambunji. However, this is why we run the races, because no matter how well I predict or try to predict, the races must be run, and these are human beings. They may have been performing good all year, and they just might not find it this in this race, so that's fine. But yeah, very proud of these ladies. For the next race, the women's 100-meter hurdles, I predicted that it would be Julien Alfred, followed by JC Sears, followed by Aliyah Hobbs, followed by Maya McCoy, followed by Zoe Hobbs, followed by Amy Hunt. Now for the results, Julien came first. Julien Alfred came first. She ran a time of 10.79 into a minus 1.4 headwind, which of course when you factor in the wind, that's another 10.6. So she's gotten 2 10.6s stripped from her because of the wind. And I firmly believe that Julien is of Jamaican descent. If she wants to switch allegiance to Jamaica, she always can. We're right here, we're waiting. So the wind seems to not like us Jamaicans, and I guess because she's our cousin, it not like her neither. But not to worry, wind. Our Jamaicans have run their fastest times into the wind. Julien will be doing so if necessary. Second was JC Sears, the fastest starter in the world right now. Someone who reminds me so much of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price with her execution and that great start. I've been watching you, JC. You've been doing amazing. I love how you always praise God and thank God. That's always the first thing that you do. I remember when you came into the Lions Den, when you came to the Racers Grand Prix, and you took on the Clayton twins, Jamaica's biggest prospects, and you actually came second to TinaClayton. So with that race, you showed me your mettle. You took on Jamaica's best and you came second. And so I knew I knew you'd run that 10-8 the other day. I knew you would come second, and that's why I put you on second in my predictions. And then third was Hobbs, but it was not Aaliyah Hobbs like I predicted. It was Zoe Hobbs, who has been so consistent, who has been ripping for not only New Zealand but for Europe. So consistent on the circuit. I'm very proud of her. Fourth was Aaliyah Hobbs. So my predicted top four. Yeah, my predicted top three came top four. So I'll accept that. And then Amy Hunt, I predicted her for 6th, and she actually came 6th. So, not bad. So that's it for the women's 100 meters. Next, we have the women's 1,000 meters. So for this one,